This is what happens when your math teacher sucks. This guy's kid is in 4th grade, and she's been having trouble in math. The whole year she's struggled, but when they got to multiplication and division, she struggled even more. I just don't understand it, Dad. I know, let's just try it again. The thing is, she just doesn't understand the method they're teaching, and it doesn't sound easy. So for multiplying, it's a bunch of steps. You break up the numbers, you draw boxes, then you multiply and then add them together. Something like that. And she gets these problems wrong like 90% of the time. So the dad's like, you know what? I'm gonna teach you the way that I learned how to do multiplication. She's like, okay. And guess what? Oh, Dad, I understand it. She under-frickin-stands it. Homework is a million times easier now because she learned it and she's actually solving the problems. Well, here's the issue. His daughter had a math test a few weeks ago. She came home very upset. Dad, I failed. What? Let me see your test. She got a 50%, even though she only got 2 problems wrong. Technically, it should have been a 92%. So he goes into school and he has a conversation with the teacher. Can you explain why my daughter failed? The teacher says, yes, it's because she didn't use the method that I taught in this class. Excuse me? The dad pointed out that the test just says to show you work. It doesn't say to use a specific method. But she said, well, that's too bad. I taught my method to these students for a reason. Your daughter didn't use it. So she fails. Oh, the dad was furious. He went to the principal. He admits that he made it a pretty big deal. What are you guys teaching in the school, huh? Some bogus way to do multiplication? It's so much easier than that. Now my daughter's failing even though she got a 92% on the test. Except with a lot more yelling. The principal called the teacher in and forced her to change the girl's grade to an A. The principal then apologized to the dad and said, it won't happen again. Better not. But for real, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This kid's not all there. I'm thirsty. But he wanted to focus really hard on this spelling test. He didn't want to be distracted by taking a sip of water or asking to go get some. So this was his brilliant idea. He went to the water fountain before class. He got a very big gulp of water and left it in his mouth. He heard that this is what the squirrels do. They put nuts in their mouth and they save them for later. Well, that was his idea, but with water. So now he's sitting in class. The teacher's naming the words, and he's writing the spelling down with a bunch of water in his mouth. All right, class, your next word is fortitude. His plan was to take small, tiny gulps throughout the test, so he never went thirsty. Well, about 2 minutes into the test, his cheeks give way, and a bunch of water just falls right on his desk. The test and the desk were soaked. Water was now spilling on the floor, and other kids noticed. The teacher walks over. Why is there a bunch of water on your desk and the floor? The kid didn't know how to respond, so he just looks her in the eyes and said, I have no idea. The teacher was so confused by that answer that she just walked away. No more questions were asked. He failed that spelling test. What? All right, class, first we dissect, then we eat. This biology teacher had a side job as a chef, and apparently he was pretty good. Well, the kids in his biology class would frequently have these days, dissection days, where you would dissect frogs, cats, I don't know. But most of the time, the teacher would order a bunch of squid from the local market. The squid would be thawed out, raw, and passed out to every student. All right, you should all have a worksheet and a squid. You have 25 minutes. Get to dissect it. Everybody would dissect the squids. They would use the ink to write messages to each other. It sounds kind of fun if you like that kind of stuff. But then the teacher would do something different. He would pull out a George Foreman portable grill from underneath his desk, plug it in, and preheat that baby. Then he would collect all these squids from each lab table, bring them up, season them, and toss them on the grill. Oh, it's smelling good. The first time he did this, the students thought he was absolutely insane. They're like, there's no way we're gonna eat that. But then someone tried it. Wait, that's actually good. Let me try. That is good. I guess the way he cooked this squid was just delectable, and they were constantly looking forward to these days. And although it sounds weird, I think that's a good teacher. This kid's dad freaked out. They're at the grocery store shopping for their weekly groceries. Cereal, milk, frozen waffles, frozen pizza, lunch meat. Everything seems normal. Then they pull up to the aisle. They're at the cashier. He scans everything. All right, that'll be $125.64. The dad then goes into his pockets and pulls out this giant stack of coupons. Yeah, all right, here you go. Hands them to him super confident. And the cashier starts scanning them. Beep, boop, beep, boop, bop, bop, beep. Then he goes, Sir, every single one of these is like 9 years old. Everyone expired. Super expired. Scan them again. Okay, beep, beep, boop, bop, beep, beep, boop. The beeps obviously came from the machine, not his mouth. But this is a video. But he says again, yeah, no, they're all expired. Dad starts raising his voice in front of everybody at the store. His kid is with him. He's like, Dad, please settle down. We're in public. This is absolutely ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense at all. You know what? I'm leaving. He then starts to push the cart out of the store. Dad, we have to pay. I'm not paying for anything. Now the kid is standing there by the cashier. Cashier's watching the dad push the cart out and then looks at him. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Kid then does something that he never forgave his dad for. He pulled out his wallet and paid for the entire grocery haul with all the money he made that summer from mowing people's lawns. Here, this should cover it. He was saving up for a brand new bike. Worst part is, his dad never paid him back. That's messed up. The biggest loss of aura in school history. This kid built his whole reputation off of basketball. He wasn't on the team, but he would always say he was really good. He carried a basketball around with him everywhere. Hey, what's up, guys? At lunch or in class, whenever he was chilling, he would be spinning the ball on his finger. Yo, check this out. Cool, huh? And people did think it was cool. And he would always say, no, I don't want to be on the basketball team. Too much commitment. I just play in my backyard. Well, okay. Yeah, the team is trash though anyway. Then the pep rally comes up. The principal goes, alrighty students, now it's time for the free throw challenge. Let's get somebody who's not on the team up here. See what you can do. And everybody volunteers this kid. Hey, come on, man. He'll do it. Yeah, he'll totally do it. The entire school knows him, so the entire gym is cheering so loudly. This kid gets up there. He's already got a basketball with him. Right. He takes his first shot. And he misses. Crowd's like, what? He brushes it off. It's a joke. It's a joke. Give me the ball. He misses again. And again. And again. He can't make one hoop. Now the cheers stopped. And the laughing began. Everyone's yelling at him, calling him a fraud, calling him a loser. Dude, you actually suck. He sucks. Kid begins crying. He was all talk, forever. Everyone thought he was a basketball god. But turns out, he's trash. He runs out of the gym, and he never comes to school with a basketball ever again. So this guy's nephews are graduating high school. It's a big crowd, he knows it's gonna be packed. So he shows up to the graduation early. He brought his own folding chair because he has bad knees, and he brought some headphones. So he opened his chair, sat down, and popped his headphones in. And because he's early, he was just chilling by the entrance. About 40 minutes before they let everybody in, this pregnant woman shows up. Somebody must have let her cut in line because all of a sudden she's right next to him. And not even 5 minutes later, she taps him on the shoulder and says this. Excuse me, would you mind letting me sit in your chair? I'm having trouble standing. Okay. He's polite about it, you know. He goes, I'm sorry, I can't. I got really bad knees and bad feet, so, you know, I need it. That's why I brought it. She nods and then asks again like 2 minutes later. And he's like, yeah, still no, I'm sorry. So now she's annoyed. She's huffing and puffing. She turns to her husband and is like, can you say something to him, please? Hey, man, she's pregnant. Would you mind letting her sit in that seat? The gall of these people, okay? Anyway, this guy says, I get it, but I really do need it. That is why I brought it. She can wait in the car or maybe sit on the curb or something. I don't know. It's not my problem. Now this lady's husband flips. Wow, you are such an asshole. Here's the thing. This guy came early. He planned everything. He brought his own chair because he has bad knees and feet. That's his chair. And now he's the bad guy for not giving his chair to some rude pregnant lady? Please. I'm not here to teach. I'm here to keep order. Shut your mouth. There's this substitute, middle school, real power tripping type of guy. Clipboard in one hand, whistle around his neck, looking like he's coaching for the NBA. He walks into class, first thing he says, listen up, I'm not here to be your friend, I'm here to keep order. The whole class side-eyes each other, like, who does this guy think he is? 15 minutes in, he's handing out detentions like he's Oprah. You, detention for talking. You, detention for looking out the window, no daydreaming in this class. You, why are you breathing so funny? You making fun of me? Detention. Kid in the back, let's call him Devin, finally speaks up. Sir, you're here for 45 minutes. Chill. You better watch your tone, young man. Devin leans back in his chair, smiles, and says, bro, you're a spirit Halloween manager with a clipboard. Relax. Yo. The sub's just standing there frozen, clipboard shaking in his hand. Principal hears the chaos and he walks in. Sees the sub standing there red-faced. The sub then starts tearing up and runs out of the classroom. The principal had to finish the class. Okay, what'd you guys say to him? Wasn't even that bad, dude. Bro's just sensitive. Alright, fine. Just open your books. Let's finish the class. The sub never came back to that school. Absolute KO. Where to get all this stuff? I don't know. But it's beautiful. So sophomore year of high school, this one kid puts a bin outside the cafeteria. Taped to the side, it says, unofficial lost and found. Nobody thinks much of it, and people start using it. A water bottle here, a hoodie there, stuff just starts showing up in the bin. And every day, it's empty again. Clean, wiped out. No one knows where the stuff from the previous day went. And no one asked. At first, people think he's just bringing it to the office. Even the teachers were like, oh, that's so nice of him, he's helping out the school staff. here, I found this shoe. But he never actually confirms what he's doing with the stuff. He even moves the bin around. Some days he's outside the library with it. Other days he's by the gym. Sometimes he's spotted walking the hallway alone, picking stuff up like he's actively looking for lost items. And this goes on for 2 years. So, senior year, the last day of school. You know, it's pretty relaxed. People were just wandering the schools. Easy day, you know, it's the last day. Well, there's a paper sign taped to the gym doors. The sign said, "The Hall of the Misplaced." People walk in, they're curious. What is this place? Oh my god. This kid turned the gym into a full-blown museum. Tables, spotlights, handwritten labels, all of the missing stuff displayed. He made sections. The wall of gloves, the charger graveyard. The fact that this dude's been pulling this off for 2 years is insane. At 3:45 that day, he packed up everything and left with the stuff. He didn't even give it back to the people that wanted it back. After he walked out, he was gone. And he didn't even show up to graduation. Honestly, that dude's a legend. It's frozen. Run! So this one school had a tradition. In 8th grade, during the last week of school, there was a day called Water Balloon Day. It was unofficial, unsanctioned. Everyone knew it happens right after lunch in the courtyard. What started as a couple kids tossing water balloons around turned into a full-blown event. And every year it got a little bigger. But this one class took it way too far. They planned for weeks, mapped out the courtyard, found the nooks and the crannies. They assigned roles, runners, refillers, and spotters. Kids were wearing goggles and rain ponchos like they were going to war. And the wild part was these weren't just simple water balloons. People were freezing them the night before. Others were filling water balloons with Kool-Aid to give them themed and color ammo. By the time lunch ended, it was full-blown chaos. Teachers tried to shut it down, but they were getting hit too. Hey, stop! That's when the principal stormed out with the megaphone. Everyone drop the balloons now! Students were drenched. They were running to avoid getting in trouble. The next day, an announcement was made. Attention students, all balloon activity from here on out is permanently banned. Any students participating in any future water balloon fights or things of the such will be expelled. But for that 8th grade class, especially those who avoided getting in trouble, they said it was a day that they'll never forget. And it is a legend around that school. That's epic. Hey, got the goods. You know it. What the? What is that? Oh, shit. So there was this one kid, let's call him Jordan. And Jordan was built for business. He wasn't even in it for the money. He just wanted to run something. So in 7th grade, he started selling snacks out of his backpack. Takis, Gushers, Hot Cheetos, all the good stuff. And his prices, they were cheaper than the vending machine. No line, no tax, no frickin' problems. This guy had regulars, he had punch cards, he even had combo deals. Business was absolutely booming. But then one day a teacher caught him mid-deal and they were shut down. Hey, yo! I'm shutting you down. School took his snacks, they called his parents, the whole operation gone, done for. So Jordan disappeared for a little while. People thought it was over. But 2 weeks later, he comes back with a new system. Now he's walking around with a backpack full of old books, asking people quietly, hey, need something to read? And inside the books were snacks. He had hollowed out the middle of these books, lined it with plastic, and stuffed them full of candy and chips. These books were titled things like Understanding Algebra or A History of Our State. Books nobody actually wanted. And teachers thought he was just pushing literacy. He would always say, I'm just promoting reading. But then one day, one slipped. Mid-class, he slides a book across a desk to another kid. Got you. But it falls off and lands with a thud. Nope. Well, when it hit the ground, a bag of Hot Cheetos fell out of this book. The kid tries to grab it and stuff it back inside the book, but the teacher saw everything. What was that? Wait, let me see that book right now. She picks it up, opens it, and it's completely hollowed out. Crumbs, lining, snack stash exposed. That day, they checked Jordan's locker. He had a full snack library. Categorized, alphabetized, every single book was loaded. And they shut him down again, for real this time. But to this day, people still talk about this kid, because Jordan wasn't just selling snacks. He built a system, and for a while, it worked. Dude, don't shoot it from there. If it sticks, I'm a legend. It started with one kid. He was bored during history class, and he sat in the last row of the room. So because he was bored, he pulled a rubber band from his backpack, and he shot it at the wall behind him. Thwap. It stuck to the wall. No one noticed. The next day, he did it again. Nice. Thwap. 2 rubber bands stuck to the wall. And then it became this thing. It was like an unspoken challenge for the kids that sat in the back of the room. The challenge would be to see if your rubber band can stick to the wall. And kids did whatever it took. They dipped these rubber bands in spit, juice, soda, anything that made them tacky enough to hold. It was disgusting, but it worked. And over time, the wall started to change. There were layers. Bands stuck on top of other bands. It looked like some weird, stretchy art project. And the teacher, he never turned around. He was one of those teachers that stood in the front of the class the whole time and he lectured from the board. He never noticed a thing. But then one day, they got a sub. And the sub noticed immediately. She walks in, she sees the wall, and she freezes. And all the students are waiting her to be grossed out or to snitch to the principal or something. But instead, she walks over, pulls out a pen, and leaves a note on the wall. When she walked away, the kids checked the note. All the note said was respect. That's awesome. Mister, I need a pencil. Well, then you know what to do. There was this one English teacher at this one school that had a full-blown ritual just for handing out pencils. But it wasn't funny, it wasn't goofy, it was actually kind of unsettling. He called it the ceremony. And it happened every single time somebody asked for a pencil. You couldn't just say, "Can I borrow one?" You had to raise your hand and say, "I seek the tool of wisdom." And if you said it wrong, he would just stare at you, dead silent, until you said it right. Then he would unlock a little drawer which he called the vault. He'd slowly remove one pencil and hold it up in the air, like it was sacred. Sometimes he would even close his eyes. Yes. And before he would hand it over, he would look at the entire class and go, "Together now, use it well, write with honor." He said this binded the exchange. And if somebody in the class didn't say it with everybody, he would just hold onto the pencil and wait. And here's the part that really unsettled people. If you disrespected the ceremony, like if you laughed or whispered or rolled your eyes, he would mark your name down in a little red notebook. Didn't say anything, he just wrote your name down. And people swore every time he did that, there was a pop quiz the next day. Got to the point where people stopped forgetting to bring their pencils to class. Not because they were just more prepared, but because they were terrified to ask the teacher for one. Bro, say something! He won't, and that's the scary part. So there's this one kid, real quiet. Doesn't talk much in class, doesn't have a crew. Just walks through the day, hoodie up, backpack on, he keeps to himself. And for whatever reason, this other kid keeps trying to start stuff with him. It starts with little jabs, locker shoves, shoulder checks in the hallway. This guy's trying to get a rise out of the quiet kid. But the quiet kid, he never reacts. He never looks mad, he's just always silent. And that keeps making this dude even angrier. He starts saying stuff loudly in the lunchroom. Yo, hoodie kid thinks he's better than everyone. See, he's too scared to speak. There's a whole week of build-up. People start whispering, yo, a fight's happening on Friday. Between who? That big guy Jeff and that kid who never talks. Oh, here we go. And then Friday, passing period, a crowd forms in the hallway. Phones out, everybody's waiting. The loud kid's already in the circle and he's yelling. And the quiet kid, he just walks in. No expression, no talking, he just drops his backpack on the floor. Oh, you're showing up now, huh? You scared? You scared, man? Quiet kid says nothing. Say something, bro! Still nothing. So the loud kid swings. He misses. And the quiet kid, one move. Two moves. It's over. He picks up his backpack and he walks away. By 7th period, people are calling him Silent Mike. The next day, now Silent Mike doesn't talk unless it's important. He once got bumped in the hallway and didn't blink. He never even messed up his hoodie. You know, one teacher goes, wait, who's Mike? The Silent Mike nickname didn't really make sense because kid's real name is Darren. You kids need to be more responsible. You first. In this one class, late homework gets you an immediate 0. No excuses, and this teacher was brutal about it too. If you can't turn it in on time, you fail. Life doesn't give you extensions, kids. And the thing is, she assigned homework all the time. You know, every week, new homework, the kids would turn it in, but then, listen to this, but then, nothing. No feedback, no grades, nothing gets returned to them. Well, one day, this kid named Johnny, he kinda snaps. Hey miss, just wondering, if life doesn't give you extensions, where's all of our graded homework from the last month? Excuse me, I'm very busy, Johnny. I have a life too, you know. Can't believe you. Well, you know what? Maybe you should finish your homework before you hand us out more. You hypocritical office? No. That's fine, but I'm gonna tell Mr. Stevens that he should probably have a look inside your gradebook. Okay, bye. Funny enough, by the next morning, the student portal of that class had been completely updated. She had graded everything. And during class the next day, she changed the late work policy. She really did that? Yup. Well, let's get her fired. There was this one teacher. Strict, rude, completely unpredictable. She'd take off points for sloppy handwriting, dock your grade if you turned something in 5 seconds late, and she would also lose assignments like it was nothing. Steven, where's your homework? I literally turned it in. Well, I can't find it, so no, you didn't. At first, everybody rolled with it, but she kept pushing. Like one time, she graded a full assignment a 0 because the kid printed it double-sided. It's harder for me to read. I can't even read this. The moment these kids really snapped, though, was when a student turned in a 3-page paper. It was perfectly done, but he forgot to staple it, and there was no stapler in the classroom. What the heck is 0? Why? Life has consequences. Next time, remember the staple. And that's the point when the class was like, nah, they were done. They started screenshotting their grades, along with the assignment that the grade was for. They recorded her when she was yelling at students. They would save emails that she would send to them where she contradicted herself or made herself look like a horrible teacher. This one kid had a folder on his laptop called Operation Bring Her Down. Once they got a bunch of evidence, they printed everything and put it into a very big packet. They labeled the packet, Why She Shouldn't Teach. They brought it to the office, and they waited. 3 weeks later, a sub walks into their classroom. No explanation, just, hey everybody, my name is Mr. Johnny, and I'm gonna be your sub for the rest of the year. Okay, your teacher had to go, or something. Okay. She was gone. They did it. No goodbye, no warning, just a pleasant surprise on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, I mean, if she was a horrible teacher, good riddance, right? They're better off. Yo, there's pizza in the hallway, guys. Best day ever. At this one school, there was this one kid that we'll call Logan, who didn't say much all year. He was pretty quiet. Good grades, chill energy, he never got into trouble. But on the last day of school, something inside him switched. He walks in, he nods to the front office lady, and he says, last day of school, and I got big plans for it. Now, nobody thought anything of it, until about 10 minutes later. An intercom announcement comes on, but it's not from the principal. It's Logan's voice. Good morning, students and staff. May I have your attention, please? And everyone's listening very intently because he sounds pretty official. Then he says this. Due to a clerical error, several classrooms have been issued complimentary pizza. During your third period class, please check the hallways. People laugh, they think it's a prank. But then third period rolls around and one kid decided to check the hallway about halfway through. And there's a pizza box. And another. And another. Every hallway there were full pizza boxes, still hot. Teachers are opening doors like, what is going on? Whoa, that is so much pizza. But as you can imagine, kids are now losing their minds. Someone grabbed 2 boxes and ran to the bathroom. Where I assumed he sat there and ate them. These kids said it was a complete blast. Yes, it was chaotic and people were getting in trouble, but memories, right? Well, this is what happened. Turns out Logan saved up all year. Lunch money, birthday cash, he put it all into this. He ordered 50 pizzas to all arrive at the same time to the school. He had convinced the school secretary to help him with this because he's told her, come on miss, the last day should feel like the last day. Okay. She let him use the intercom, she helped him bring the pizzas in. At the end of the day, the students were trying to find Logan to thank him. But he had skipped out early. He was already home, chilling in his room, playing Xbox. An absolute legend. He did all of this just to make people's last day of school feel memorable. Respect. He wrote all of that down in that notebook? Yeah. Holy sh! Everyone at the school knew about Eli. Not because he was loud or popular, it was just the opposite actually. You see, Eli was just off. He wore the same hoodie every single day, carried one of those tiny spiral notebooks in his back pocket, and he was always scribbling in it during class. Like it'd be mid-lecture, he would just pause, start writing in this thing, and then he would stop, snap it closed, and stare ahead like nothing happened. Now, people assumed it was a sketchbook or he was writing stories or something, but the rumors started flying pretty quick. Some kids thought it was a hit list. Others thought he was writing creepy fan fiction. It got to a point where a teacher actually pulled him aside to ask him about it. Eli just said, it's nothing bad, I just like to keep track of things. And for a while, that was enough, until someone found one of the notebooks. It fell out of his pocket during gym class. Oh my god. Yo, Steven, is that what I think it is? Yup. And yeah, it wasn't a hit list, but it was weird. He had pages dedicated to different people. Not in a creepy way, more like stats. Stuff like, Jamie asks to borrow a pencil 3 times a week. Mr. Grant pretends he doesn't see phones on desks. Cafeteria, chicken sandwich rotation is every 6 days. It was like he was documenting the entire school. Patterns, routines, habits, everything. And the weirdest part, he was right. Everything he wrote down was dead on accurate. He had memorized the school's entire system and everybody in it. After that, people stopped making jokes. Because anytime somebody wanted to know something, like what day pizza was coming back, when Mr. Grant gave pop quizzes, what the fire drill schedule looked like, they didn't ask the office or the teachers. They asked Eli. So yeah, he wasn't a problem. He was a database. Good morning, this is Channel 3 School News with your top story. At approximately 9:08 a.m. yesterday, a 6th grade student constructed a fully functional toll booth in the main hallway, using nothing but masking tape, a clipboard, and what seemed to be a strong sense of purpose. Eyewitnesses state the student was wearing sunglasses and would stand there with his hand out, calmly stating, "That's $1 to pass, exact change only." Over the next 12 minutes, multiple students complied. One teacher walked through without paying, and she was booed. It's just, what makes you so special? We're all paying the toll, so should you. So we booed her. By 9:20 a.m., this student had collected $28 in singles and exact change. He offered receipts, he stamped hands. He told students premium passes were coming soon. When asked why he was doing this, this was his reply. It's a good idea, right? I just came up with it. I thought there's no way I'm gonna get away with this. But I did. As the morning went on, the hallway bottlenecked. The late bell rang. Chaos was beginning to ensue. By 9:26 a.m., administration intervened. The toll booth was dismantled, the tape was peeled, and the clipboard was seized. When asked if he had any other things planned in the near future, he responded, "Oh, just you wait." And back to you.
আমার নেক্সট আপকামিং 5টা প্রজেক্টের ফুটেজ ছিল এই ফোনটাতে। তোমরা এটা কেন করছো এই ফোনটার মধ্যে আমার কত জরুরি জরুরি ফুটেজ ছিল আমার।
শোন। হোয়াট দ্য ফাক? এই আপনি কে এসব কি করছেন আপনি? দেখতে মানুষের মতো আর ভূতের মাস্ক পরে ভয় দেখানো। হ্যাঁ, আমি কখনো তাকে দেখিনি, চিনিও না ইভেন। এই কে আপনি? হোয়াট দ্য হেল? আপনি জান?
হু আর ইউ? ওয়েট, বলছি একটা সেকেন্ড।
ম্যাক্স ভাই, স্যার নিজেও তো আপনার খুব ফ্যান দেখলাম ভাই, একটা যদি সুযোগ দেন একটা সেলফি তুলে রাখ।
নো 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 নো
69/2 শঙ্কর গলিটা কোন দিকে?
শঙ্কর গলিতে আপনি পার্কের মধ্যে পাবেন না।
আচ্ছা পার্ক তো বুঝলাম, 3 নাম্বার গেটটা কোন দিকে পার্কের?
পার্কের 3 নাম্বার গেট তো ওই দিকে।
শুভনাপু আপনার বেবি কি হলো? শুভনাপু আপনার বেবি, আল্লাহ কি হয়েছে?
তোমার জিনিসটা ঝামেলা আছে, ঝামেলা হচ্ছে যে সব নষ্ট হয়ে যাবে। প্যারাই না।
আর শোনো, টিন্ডারে ম্যাচ হওয়া মানেই কিন্তু আই এম নট রেডি ফর হুক আপ। আজ দেখা হবে, কাল ডেট হবে, আমি এরকম মেয়ে না।
যত সব ফেক আইডি, এতদিন ফেসবুকে সব ফেক আইডি দেখতাম, এখন বাস্তবে ঘুরে বেড়াও। যত সব যাবেন ফাজিল কোথাকার।
বলছিলাম না যে আপনারে আমার সেলফি তুলতে চাবেন না, তখন তো পাত্তা দেন নাই ভাই।
স্যার আমি তো খুবই সরি স্যার, নিজে তো আপনার বড় ফ্যান, একটা সুযোগ দেন, একটা সেলফি।
ওইটা আচ্ছা দেখেন তো, এখানে তো তাই লেখা না, 3 নাম্বার গেট, আবার পার্ক, আবার শঙ্কর গলি, বুঝতেছি না।
3 নাম্বার গেট ওইদিকে।
হয়েছে বলতো?
আর বলিস না, তোরে যে বুকিং দিচ্ছে সে তো এখন আমার পিছনে লাগছে।
দিশান ও দরজা লাগা দিতে কই যায় কই যা
আমরা তো বিয়েই দিয়ে দিবে বাসা থেকে।
মাম্মা লাভ স্টোরি তো শুরু করে দিলা। ভালো ভালো ভালো। মালটারে কি পড়ানো যায়?
তুই একটা কাম কর, আজকে থেকে আমি তোমার, তুমি আমার, ব্যাস ডিসিশন ফাইনাল, বুকিং দিয়ে রাখলাম, ঠিক আছে? কি খবর তোমাদের, কেমন আছো তোমরা সবাই? ভালো তো না? তুমি জানো তোমার কালকে তো কতবার কল দিচ্ছি।
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কি রে হৃদয় তুই মানা করতেছি?
কিছু না কিছু। ভাবি আপনি জানেন আমি একবার অসুস্থ হয়ে গেছিলাম, ও আমাকে রক্ত দেয়নি, আর আজকে আপনাকে রক্ত দিয়ে চিঠি লিখছে।
হ্যালো,
হেই হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ প্র্যাঙ্ক ম্যান।
কে?
একটু হলেই তো তোমার ফোন হাওয়া হয়ে যেত।
তুই তোর ফোন আর কোনোদিন পাবি না।
কেন?
তোর বাবা তো তোর ফোনটাকে একদম আসার দিয়ে ভেঙে শেষ, এমনকি পানিতে চুবাইছে।
আউট অফ কিউরিয়াসিটি হয়তো দেখা করব, বাট আই এম নট দ্যাট মাচ ইজি, অলওয়েজ রিমেম্বার।
আজকে যদি তারা না থাকতো আজকে তো দিতাম একদম। এই খালি স্কার্টেন গার্ডেন।
এই যে আপু, এসব গার্ডেন ফার্ডেন যায় না, আমার ভাই ব্রাদাররা আছে, আপনার একদম কামড়ায় দিবে। না 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 ব্রো, এই যে আপনার ফোন প্র্যাঙ্ক ছিল ব্রো, চিল চিল চিল। রাকিব ভাই, আপনি এসআই রাকিব ভাই না? আপনার কথা আমি অনেক শুনছি। আপনি কিন্তু মানে বুঝের লোক। টেজে তোলেন।
এই হোসেন আলী ক্যামেরা
আগেই কইছিলাম আমার বস ফেমাস।
হ্যাঁ 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 ভাই একটু যদি ধরতে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ শিওর।
স্যার কিভাবে যে কনফার্ম হয়?
এটা তো এদিকে না, 3 নাম্বার গেট ওইদিকে, শঙ্কর গলি বোধহয় গেটের বাইরে। আপনি ভুল আসছেন, যান।
ভুল আসছে, কিন্তু আমি কি চিনতে পারবো?
ও আচ্ছা, আপনি দ্যাট বোরখা গার্ল।
চিনতে পেরেছো তাহলে না?
আই লাইক গুড গার্লস। ফলো কর তো, ফলো কর, যা। ইফতে কই যায় দেখবি, যা। তাহলে জীবনে প্রথম কাউরে প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে যায়, নিজেই আজকে প্র্যাঙ্ক হয়ে গেল।
তুমি আমাকে বলেছো যে তুমি তোমার কোনো বয়ফ্রেন্ড নাই।
না না, বয়ফ্রেন্ড না, আমি ওনার বয়ফ্রেন্ড, আমি ওর ফিয়ান্সে। ওর সাথে আমার বিয়ে নেক্সট।
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
আমার জন্য?
এটা তোমার জন্য, একটা নতুন ফোন দিলাম।
এই জন্য তাহলে তোমরা এতক্ষণ নাটক করছো?
নাটক না, তোমার ফোনটা পুরনো হয়ে গেছে।
কেন
নতুন ফোন।
আমরা প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে পারি না?
একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট কথা ছিল তোমার সাথে। এমন করলে কেমন হয় যদি এই এন্টারটেইনমেন্ট জার্নিতে আমি জয়েন করি তোমার সাথে?
Good morning, this is Channel 3 School News with your top story. At approximately 9:08 a.m. yesterday, a 6th grade student constructed a fully functional toll booth in the main hallway, using nothing but masking tape, a clipboard, and what seemed to be a strong sense of purpose. Eyewitnesses state the student was wearing sunglasses and would stand there with his hand out, calmly stating, "That's $1 to pass, exact change only." Over the next 12 minutes, multiple students complied. One teacher walked through without paying, and she was booed. It's just, what makes you so special? We're all paying the toll, so should you. so we booed her. By 9:20 a.m., this student had collected $28 in singles and exact change. He offered receipts, he stamped hands. He told students premium passes were coming soon. When asked why he was doing this, this was his reply. It's a good idea, right? I just came up with it. I thought there's no way I'm going to get away with this. But I did. As the morning went on, the hallway bottlenecked. The late bell rang. Chaos was beginning to ensue. By 9:26 a.m., administration intervened. The toll booth was dismantled, the tape was peeled, and the clipboard was seized. When asked if he had any other things planned in the near future, he responded, "Oh, just you wait." And back to you.